You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Heart of Amethyst. So the last episode focused kind of a bit on Roderick, as you can see right there. Let's go ahead and jump right back into it, guys, and let's see just where this strange journey takes us. I know we met the princess and her scary maid in the previous episode, so let's see where else we find ourselves. Anyway, guys, please sit back and enjoy. Let me detain you, and let's jump right in. Oh, assuming I can find alarm chain. There we go. Alarm chain, you're up, and let's go. Okay. And lastly, let's see. Let's back up a couple. Okay. What was his deal? Hitting on me like that out in the open. Such a pervert, talking about Almond. I think it's better if I don't give it much thought. I just need to pay real close attention to him. Maybe that way I'll figure out what his deal is. And lastly, Roderick. A real pain in the ass since I got here. The guy clearly doesn't want me here, and it's highly likely that he was forced to give me the class. Oddly enough, it was a very good one. I mean, it did hurt, but I bet he could have gone a lot harder on me if he wanted to. Wolf clearly has the muscles to break my arm easily, but I ended up learning a thing or two, and I kinda liked it. I sigh, leaning onto my pillow, which already has some of my smell attached to it. I wonder if this bed will end up smelling as me. I don't want to admit it, but as fancy as it looks, I'm still their prisoner. The king says he wants me to be his retainer, but I refuse to believe he's doing this out of the kindness of his heart alone. He must have a reason, so I should try and figure it out. I won't be safe as long as they make me remain in the dark. The one who remains in the dark. That dream. It felt so real. I thought I had forgotten about it, but it suddenly all came back to me. It must be my brain playing tricks on me. I'd be surprised if that were the case. After all, I'm terrified of what will come tomorrow. The next morning, I woke up around the 7th hour. No, wait, scratch that. Zach woke me up as I'm still incapable of doing it myself. I blame it all on the bed. It's just too darn comfortable. I'm still feeling a little sleepy, but he told me Almond would be here any time now, so I gotta be ready. Luckily for me, all I have to do is get dressed and be decent enough. The little guy took care of the rest. He already washed up my dirty clothes and arranged my full schedule for the day. He's really hard-working and organized. Master, Sir Almond is already here. Shall I let him in? Little dog shyly pokes his head through the door, not daring to look me in the eye as if I would eat him or something. I told him like 5 times not to call me master and stop being so uptight, but we'll go against all the principles he's been taught. Or that's what he's told me. At this point, I just leave him be. No beating around that bush. Thank you, Zach. I'll be there in a minute. He nods and without saying another word, closes the door. Maybe I should try to teach him how to relax a little. He really needs it. As a matter of fact, he's still beating himself up for yesterday's ghost fiasco. No matter how many times I've told him that it's fine. Still, I haven't asked him how he did it. Maybe I'll do it today after training if I get the chance. For now, I just need to focus on the day ahead of me. I look at the door and take a last deep breath as I walk towards it. Better get started. Oh, hello there. The morning is as clear as it can be. Not a single cloud in the sky, and the sun is burning bright. I'm a little worried about this song. Might be copyright. Okay. There we go. The summer breeze feels nice on my fur, and the salty scent of water assaults my senses. I used to be really confused by that as a kid. Because lakes back home weren't salty, but this was... Oh my, this reminds me of this one summer day in which I was really thirsty, so I decided to drink some water from the lake. I was probably thinking that no one would mind if I did. There's a lot of water after all. Well... The next thing I know, I spent 2 entire days stuck in the bathroom. I would have really appreciated if they had told me I'm not supposed to do that. After all, the water from the lake is really salty because we were close to the ocean. But enough of that. I should talk to the wolf. He probably knows that I'm here by now, but he hasn't acknowledged me. He's currently looking into the distance with his back turned to me. Taking a closer inspection, I can notice that he looks cleaner this time around. His hair is not messy like yesterday, and he smells nice. Probably took a bath. With that initial observation out of the way, I decide to approach him. I'll turn around and be like, "Pocket sand!" The wolf seems to be deeply in thought, making me wonder what's on his mind. You know, I've always loved this site. Reminds me of my home. A place surrounded by water, Not a single cloud in the sky. Ain't it beautiful? Oh, what kind of accent was I doing for him again? Oh, yes, Australian. Okay. You know, I've always loved this site. Reminds me of my home. A place surrounded by water, not a single cloud in the sky. Ain't it beautiful? He says that without any sort of context. All I can do is nod and stand beside him. Almond offers me a warm smile as he turns around to face me. So, how was your sword training yesterday? It was fine. I mean, I got hit a few times, but I managed. That's great to hear. Looks like I didn't need to ask Ruby to keep an eye on you. It was just in case things got out of hand. Hope you don't mind. You know Ruby? Of course, I'm good friends with her. Really, she doesn't seem the type to be good friends with anyone. Still, it figures. He fits the social butterfly standards with flying colors. Why Ruby, though? She didn't seem interested in me at all. Huh? Why would you say that? I don't know. She needed She needed me to know that the princess wanted to meet me, and she left as soon as she passed down the message. Besides, she's kind of scary. When she cast that weird spell on me, it felt really awful. Almond seems really surprised about this revelation. Maybe I said something that I shouldn't have. I wouldn't worry about that much. I wouldn't worry about that. She'd probably just use her battle aura on you. Red eyes, they're all the same. I tilt my head as soon as he mentions that term. I've never heard of it. A battle aura? It sounds like something a kid would say while playing a game. You sure you're not making that up? Wait, you've never actually heard about it? I mean, I'm sure this can't be your first time feeling a battle aura. Most of the red-eyed guards are trained to externalize it. I mean, I've never had the time to pay attention to that. Mostly I just try to get the hell away from them. Some of the guards are scary, but what I felt coming from that maid was definitely different. She made me fear for my life. Almond seems to pick up on my confusion, patting my back with a smile. Relax, mate. It's very simple, really. Battle aura is a use of Crim unique to the Sons of Grimoon. They can expand the reach of their mana within a certain area. They do it as a way to make weaker enemies feel intimidated. If I'm not mistaken, it won't work it won't work in beings with stronger wills. Besides, in my personal experience, not many of them can do it properly. It requires a lot of training. I chuckle a little as he finishes his explanation. The brown wolf just sounded a lot like a callus, and that puts a smile on my face. Did I say something funny? I deny with the head, and Almond just shrugs, then continues talking. Anyway, that's pretty much all I can tell you, mate. To be honest, I don't know much about her. One day she showed up beside the king. This is quite interesting indeed. I feel like my eyes have been opened to a whole different world. There are so many things that I don't know, and Crim can be used in a lot of different ways. I can't help but wonder what other things are possible. Can Roderick do it too? Huh, doubt it. That asshole can barely lift a sword. Are you sure we're talking about the same guy? Because he looked very competent to me yesterday. Oh, mate, you're too nice. But you don't have to pretend with me. I'm sure he just used his class as an excuse to hit you. I'd tell my ass. No, you're wrong. I liked his class because he actually taught me something. I don't know what came over me, but hearing Almond talk shit about the Black Wolf annoyed me. I guess I just don't like it when others talk behind my back. I mean, I don't know the background of the bad blood between them, but all I know is that I don't want to be a part of it. Besides, this is the perfect opportunity to make him acknowledge yesterday's events. It sounds like penguins in the background. I may have enjoyed it, but that doesn't mean that he gets a free pass after doing something like that. I want to know what was going on through that head of his when he did that. And of course, I need to know if he meant anything more than just a game for him. I'm not going to let another idiot play with. Never mind. Ah, yes, about that. I'm really sorry, mate. I'm actually kind of shocked to hear him say that. I figured he would just brush it off like he did yesterday. But he's actually acknowledging his mistake. I guess I was just testing the waters with you. I mean, if it's not not often that we get to see new faces around here. Still, I know it's not an excuse, mate. I guess all I can do is promise not to do it again, eh? Unless you want me to, of course. He winks back at me, making my stupid cheek go red again. Dang it, Ehlly, get a grip. This is a serious apology. Either way, can we start over? I decided to give his words some thought, trying to figure out if he was being honest or not. I mean, I have no real reason to forgive him, but at the same time, I don't really have a reason to do otherwise. Is it really wise to stay angry at the only guy who's been treating me nicely from the start? And don't get me wrong. What he did was clearly inappropriate. He crossed a line that is not supposed to be crossed. At least not so fast and not with someone you barely know. But he seems sincere with this, and I don't want to get on his bad side by being an ass. As long as you keep that promise. Really? He excitedly jumps in place and smiles warmly, clearly excited about my answer. His tail is wagging like crazy, and he looks a little like a kid who's just been given a candy. But as soon as he sees me looking at him, he changes his behavior again and goes back to his chill and easygoing personality, trying to act as if he didn't nearly trip and fall. Still, his tail keeps wagging. Ooh, excuse me. I will, don't worry, mate. I'm a man of my word. You're not going to be disappointed. Unless you change your mind, that is. I roll my eyes and say nothing else. No use in keeping that conversation alive. This is better. It's weird seeing him all serious. I'm glad we sorted that out. We remained in silence for a short while, the both of us unsure about what to say next. Anyway, you want to go practice? This time I'll properly teach you some of the good stuff. He's the first one to talk, and I smile back at him, nodding. He takes that as his cue to turn around and begin walking down the stairs. I soon follow, but not without spraying a last glance towards Zach's door. Hope the little guy is doing fine. Damn Boyds. Great, that's much better, mate. His face turns into a bright smile as I finally manage to hit the target. Let's just say it took me a few hours of practice. I feel relieved, though. It turns out I'm not as hopeless as I thought. Besides, I'm content with what he taught me. He's not a terrible teacher when he thinks with his proper head. This time I actually feel like I learned something. Almond walks closer to me and grabs the bow from my hands. Seems like practice is over. Good job, mate! Thanks, I just tried to apply what you taught me. I say happily, my tail wagging behind my back. I'm quite excited to learn about shooting as it reminds me of my mom, who used to be a master with the bow. I used to look up to her a lot. Still do, I guess. Class is over, but we still have some time left. Let's take a seat, shall we? I nod and follow his lead, walking towards one of the benches. We take a seat under a tree. I can't help but rest my head on its trunk. I really need to improve my stamina if I'm going to keep this up. I'm spent already. It sure is nice, yay? Aye? It sure is nice, aye? I nod a few times, making sure to let him know that I agree with what he said. Aside from that, I do or say nothing else. We remain in silence for a while, enjoying the view and the nice breeze. As I look to the side, I can see he's got that same look on his face. The one he had this morning. Wonder what this is all about. So... You said this view reminded you of home. Where are you from? I was born and raised in Maryland. Maryland? In one of those villages to the south. Ever been there? Oh, he must mean those fishing villages all over Maryland's east coast. I've actually been to a few. Actually, now that you mention it, I've traveled there with my mentor. 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. A sad smile crosses his face as I say that, keeping his eyes glued to the horizon. Are you from the city? He says before I ask him if something is wrong. I'm guessing it's a touchy subject. I've been living there for the past 10 years, but I was raised in a forest. Is that so? How come you don't know how to use a bow? What does that have to do with anything? Didn't you guys hunt or something? Oh! Well, I left the forest when I was 10, never really had the chance to learn. Besides, we were farmers, hunting wasn't really our thing. We grew all we needed and got the meat from the nearby village. I chuckle lightly as I remember all those good memories in the forest. Those really were some good times. My mom used to hunt from time to time, but she did it mostly for sport. Sounds like a very peaceful life. It was. I told myself that someday I would go back to that forest and build my own little hut. What's stopping you? I can't help but frown at the question. It's not his fault, but he's rubbing me in the wrong spot with it. There's some things that I need to take care of, I say, hoping that he'll drop it. But it looks like you've got it all figured out. Heh, not at all, but I try. How about you? Do you know what you want to do with your life? Oh wow, what an awkward silence. I don't think I have an answer for that, mate. You've got me beaten. Heh, this is weird. For once, I feel like he's being fully honest with me. I can't be sure 100%, but this is the only time I've seen him smile so sincerely. Your idea of having your own hut doesn't sound so bad, though. Mind if I tag along? Immediately, my cheeks grow red, and I can't stop my mind from wondering the many implications of that phrase. I try to come up with something else to say, but I find it hard to do so. Maybe I should ask him something else. How'd you learn to shoot? You really are curious about my past, eh, mate? There really isn't much to say. There he goes again, not wanting to talk about himself. I've noticed that he's the kind of guy that is really careful with his words. It's okay, we can talk of something else. He pats my back softly and offers me a warm smile as he denies with his head. It's okay, mate, don't sweat it. Like I said, it's really nothing special. I needed to survive, so I taught myself how to shoot. I was a teenager and a homeless one at that. I had to learn how to take care of myself. The wolf shrugs and chuckles. His smile is warm and playful as per usual. It wasn't easy at all. My first bow was a mere stick tied to a pair of underwear I stole. I think those were some grandma's or something. My point is that the process was really slow and tedious, but eventually I managed to hunt down the seagulls that roamed around the fish from the port. Not the best of meals, but it had to do. Seagulls? Really? Gross. Can't imagine myself eating those things. What do they even taste like? Chicken? Hey, don't underestimate the power of seagull stew. Their meat can be quite delicious if you cook it the right way. Maybe I'll cook some for you someday. His laugh fills the entire yard, making the atmosphere feel warm and light. Mine soon follows as we both share a good time after his story. Anyhow, did I answer your question? You sure did. That was a very interesting story. I'm glad I did, but look at the sun, mate. It's gotten pretty late already. Wolf says as he looks up at the sky. I've never really been good at guessing the time of day by looking at the sun. All I know is sunset means late and dawn means near, and dawn means early. I'll grab something to eat and then be on my way. You should probably do the same. I'm gonna ask him some more questions. Question time, it's question time. Why don't you ask these questions of mine? Ed? What is it that you do with the king? Okay. It's quite boring, really. Nothing special about it. It's like a callus in the big grumpy wolf. I'm his retainer. Meaning that I keep him safe and do whatever he wants. Which normally means hunting for him. The old man loves some fresh meat. My eyes grow wide as I hear him call the king Old Man. I mean, it's not a very proper nickname for a king. Won't he get into trouble? Shouldn't you be more careful? What if someone hears you call him that? Why? He doesn't mind. Only one who gives me an earful because of it is Roderick. Still, it doesn't seem very safe, even if he says the king doesn't mind. Anyhow, did I answer your question? Yeah, I guess so. But to be honest, this was an interesting conversation topic. Let's go back to, how'd you know I'm into males? Oh, whoa, what's this? I don't know why, but that has been bugging me for a while. He took a risk there and he rolled with it. Because if I wasn't into guys, I could have let my tongue go wild and ruin his reputation. Now, who's the one being straightforward, eh, mate? A cheeky grin appears on his face as he leans closer. But I don't wish to repeat what happened yesterday, so I softly push him aside. Oh, that's smart, mate. He pretends to be hurt, making a funny face as he acts like a wounded puppy. I knew he would use this opportunity to tease and make fun of me, but I'm really curious about this. I'm often very careful about not showing my interest in public. Heavens know that the whole town would look down on me if they somehow found out. Some people have been killed by it. It was yesterday. What? The time I noticed you were into males. It happened when I climbed through your window. What does that... Ah, nice. Okay. You weren't exactly discreet, mate. Eating me up with your eyes as if I were a mere piece of meat. No way. Was that really that obvious? I'm really careful with the way I look at other men. How did he know? So that gave me a hunch and I went with it. That's why the whole practice thing happened. Believe it or not, I actually had a nice practice plan. I just can't help myself when there's a cute guy in sight. My cheeks grow red, but at this point I'm not sure if that means I'm embarrassed or frustrated. He's so careless. It was all because of a freaking hunch? That's it? A hunch? What if I wasn't, you just outed yourself? He tilts his head and raises an eyebrow back at me, as if I just said something really stupid. Then I would have apologized and told you that I was just helping you with your stance. Besides, I've been seen close to women by many people. So it would be your word against mine at the end. Trust me, mate, I'm a man of many tastes. And I sure am no fool. That's so. I'd have never imagined that he had it all planned out like this. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!